Mr. Karuf. Besides being a great teacher that he is, Mr. Karuf is also our basketball head coach. He doesn't only teach us basketball, he also gives us valuable life lessons. Mr. Karuf sees his players as people, not only as players. He always makes sure that every player feels equally important. He always takes care about our academics, and not all the coaches do that. When I first came to US, Mr. Karuf was the first person to help me and introduce me to American culture. I spent a lot of time in the last 8 months with Mr. Karuf, and I learned a lot from him. I also noticed that he is still in touch with all of his former players, which is very nice in my opinion. Mr. Karuf takes care about his players on and off the court. If we have any kind of problem, he is always there to help us. Some of our kids on AAU team are sad that their school coach is not just a little bit like Mr. Karuf. Mr. Karuf helped me a lot in every way, and he is like a second father to me. Thank you for everything, Mr. Karuf. We are so grateful to have you as our head coach. Looking forward to another season with you.
So first, I want to give a big thanks to Coach Mark and everything he's done for me. He's the reason I'm at Seacrest. I think he's the reason that I'm going to college. He's the reason that I'm the ball player that I am, that I'm the person that I am today. And he just made a big impact on me and my family. Like, we always talk about you, Coach. And we're so grateful that you came in our lives to help not only me, but my brother out. And you're just a real blessing to our family. I'm very thankful that you showed up to that one Cal Ripken game in 8th grade and saw something in me and gave me a chance. And, you know, my parents made the right choice of sending me to Seacrest. And you've helped me become a better ball player. You've helped me in the classroom, just seeing how hard that you work for us and how much you care about us. Really, it makes us work harder for you as well. Not only for you, but like for the people that we care about. And heart is bigger than size, and you've taught us that since the day I met you. And not only am I part of the Seacrest community, but I will always be part of Team Mark Marsala, for sure, Coach. You just mean a lot to me, and I'm truly going to miss you. And you've just done so much. I'm very grateful. And I'll always keep in touch with you. And whatever you need, you know, you could always let me and my family know. And I know you always got my back, and I could let you know as well. So just thank you for everything, and many blessings to you and your family. Many blessings to the Seacrest community. And one last thing, Coach. Make sure Gabe stays in check. And make sure he balls out. Make sure he does good in classes, because I need to see him do better than me. Okay? I need that. And thank you, Coach, and I'll see you soon. Take care.
Hans, you have no idea how grateful I am that you are at Seacrest. I hope you know how much I appreciate just sitting in your room and talking. But what I especially miss is our pregame talks. Before every game in practice, while you would tape my ankles, you would get me pumped up for the game, but not only that, you would give me great advice that would keep me mentally prepared and strong during games and practices. Some days when I had a rough day at school, I would get so excited to just sit in your room and rant to you. And you would always listen and give me great advice. I have spent a crazy amount of time in your room, whether I'm getting treatments, talking about sports medicine, or just having a quality conversation. You always welcome me with open arms, and I greatly appreciate you for that. I also appreciate how you were on our bench during our intense volleyball games. I always noticed how excited and motivating you were, and I hope you were as excited as we were. I really hope that we can go back in August and have a volleyball season so we can have our same pregame talks while you tape my ankles. If we don't have that, I will be so sad, because those little moments have impacted me in the best ways possible. I really hope that we can get back to school and sports soon, but I just wanted to let you know how grateful I am for you and how you've helped me grow as a player and person. Thank you for everything you do, and I hope that you and your family are safe during this terrible time.
Miss Vines, I think I speak for all the seniors when I say thank you for all the help during our application process. I can't imagine all the hours you put into us and our future. You are one of the hardest workers I know. Your ability to juggle and excel in your religious aspirations and Seacrest has amazed and inspired me. I really appreciate every time I've been able to sit down with you and get everything off my chest. Your listening abilities and wonderful advice have gotten me through so much more than you probably know. Before we went online learning, my favorite part of every week was Mondays and Fridays, when I could escape into your office and hide away with the uber soft bunnies and loads of board games. I love playing and beating you at Bananagrams, and I wish we could have played Scrabble before school closed like you wanted to. You have touched my heart, Miss Vines, and I'm so appreciative of everything you have helped me with. I love you and I miss you, and I can't wait to see you again. Thank you so much for everything.
Dear Mrs. Barnum, it only seems like yesterday when I walked into the upper school building for the first time. I was just in 5th grade and was scared to look for my tutor alone. I opened the big and heavy doors to the school and began to tremble. Out of nowhere came a voice sweet as honey. He peeked from behind the front desk and asked if I was looking for someone. At first, I was frightened to reply and shied away. Without any hesitation, you began to rise from your seat and came over to guide me through the high school. Eventually, he asked for my name and I asked for yours. We started to laugh and carried on with the tour. My tutor caught eye on me and welcomed me into the math room. When the session was over, I skipped back to your desk, said goodbye, and couldn't wait to see your smiling face again. Ever since that day, I never felt so at home, and I never felt so connected to you. You made me feel welcomed when I was scared to ask for help. Because of your act of kindness, the school didn't seem so scary. You turned a shy girl who used to be frightened to talk to people into a more grateful and caring woman today. Thank you for always listening to me when I have a mental breakdown and smiling through the rainy days. I can confirm that you make every high schooler's day 100 times brighter because of the gratitude you give to the community. Thanks so much for all that you do.
Every day, Dr. Carmi would start off the class with energy and joy. She always had a smile on her face. Her constant happiness towards her students always put smiles on all of her faces. She makes the class as fun as possible. And this year, she pushed us way out of our comfort zone, and we got to try many new things. We learned new dances, we got to tap, we played tambourines, and we sang our hearts out. She made sure we knew our worth and always gives love to our Seacrest community. Thank you, Dr. Carmi.
Dear Mr. Gamer, I want you to know that I appreciate you. Since I have you for advisory, film class, and symposium, I feel that we have gotten to know each other quite well. I always forget this is your first year here as a teacher. I want you to know that you have had a large impact on my school year in a positive way. As a Seacrest alum, you bring the Seacrestiness that we all need to be reminded of from time to time. Thank you for being there and helping us along during our high school journey. Also, thanks for baking bread for our inquiry night and playing Jackbox games during advisory. Finally, I'll never forget watching you recite pi when you were in high school. Thank you.
Oh, hello. Didn't see you there. Mr. Gunner, thank you so much for the wonderful year we've had together.
Restart. That's terrible.
What's the order?
Mr. Gemmer, if I had to describe my year with you in one word, I would say I felt supported. Because everything I needed, every time I needed a teacher, I felt like you were there for me. Whether it was Roboticon or Cedar Kirk or random days in school, I always knew I could talk to you, and I always enjoyed my time doing so. Thank you so much for making my senior year special.
Mr. Gemmer, it was really a strange first week for you, as me and Bobby harassed you endlessly about the specific rules of a made-up contract, but I think that was probably the most Seacrest introduction we could have given you, really, and from then on, it was just, like, hit the road running, and we all got along really well, and I very much cherish the Bananagram lunches we had throughout the entire year, and I'm so glad that we got to spend that time with you.
It's me now, right? So, Thank you so much for making my senior year such an entertaining one. You were a really big part during the whole introduction week at the beginning of the year, and you took over our film class when Mr. Schott suddenly ditched us. So thank you so much for that and actually making it into keeping it a really fun class. And you made my senior year great.
Hi, Mr. Dimmer. Thank you so much for everything, you've not only done for me, but everyone in this group. We have had so much fun playing Bananagrams every Thursday. I'm honest, it's my favorite game, ever. I love that game, and so thank you so much for introducing me to it. You're so kind-hearted, and you've always been such a great listener, and I just really want to thank you for that.
Hi, Mr. Gemmer. I personally have to thank you for letting us get Chick-fil-A and then stay in your classroom until 7 o'clock at night watching Apocalypse. And on top of that, being as involved as you can in our theater stuff, because we know you are not exactly a thespian, but you've been in almost everything this year, and I really have to thank you for that, so thank you.
Mr. Gemmer, if you couldn't tell, this group honestly can't thank you enough for how much you've been there for us this entire year. Whether it was playing Bananagrams with us literally every single week, to being dissected in our haunted house, to watching Apocalypse with us at night, or going to the games with us, and having late night talks at Cedar Kirk. Honestly, you have been there for us since the beginning. Not only do we respect you so much as a teacher, and the fact that you were always willing to hear our opinions and really valued what we had to say, even though we are only seniors, but you also became a friend to us, and really we became a group, and we always felt like we were in a safe space when we would be able to go into the seminar room and know that you would be there holding Bananagrams, ready to talk, or saying hi to us in the hallways. We'll take everything you have taught us to heart, and the friendship that we've been able to grow throughout this entire year. We really can't thank you enough, and you have worked endlessly to make sure that the community stays connected. Thank you so much! We have to get your appreciation!
To include some of the rustic charm.
I will include some of the rustic charm, I promise.
No, keep it in. It's charming.
Okay,
No,
whatever.
it's not.
Okay.
Wait, you'll be editing this video?
No.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna restart because I'm gonna edit this. I don't know
Oh my
why.
god. My friend's all about herself.
My favorite memory with Mr. Bates was one day in our sophomore year. He gave us a free block to do homework because we were telling him how worn out we were from trying to catch up on all our stuff. And it was really nice of him to do that. Thanks for being a good teacher, Mr. Bates.
To Mrs. Turner, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your understanding of each and every one of us, not only as students, but as people. The amount of time and effort you put into your course to give us the proper amount of knowledge does not go unnoticed. Thank you for your persistence and your nonstop determination to teach not only AP Psychology, but to teach us how to succeed. You never failed to make class exciting, and there is never a day where I don't want to attend. Even on the dreaded test days, you still somehow manage to make my day 10 times better. Not to mention your famous brownies. I don't know what you put in them, but they're amazing. Anyways, thank you for never beating around the bush and always being so straightforward when you would tell us what happened or what was about to happen. Thank you for never giving up on us and never letting us give up on you or the high demanding course. Thank you for your eagerness to help us with an open hand and an open heart. I know I can speak for all of us when I say this. We love you, and we appreciate everything you do for us.
I'm about to graduate, and I can't wait to finally play some Xbox with you to see if you really are as good as you say you are. I speak on behalf of the seniors when I say that we will all miss you, Brofe.
Dear Madame, there's a reason I think all of us have called you Mom at least once in class. It's because we are a family. Since your first year at Seacrest, you have worked endlessly to make your classroom into a home. There's a reason no one in French 5 has left you after all of these years. Remember that moment in France when we were all frantic about dinner because it was late and about 4 people lost the key to the hotel? And we were all talking over each other and looking for someone to blame, but someone shouted stop and then pointed to the Eiffel Tower because it was twinkling in the night sky. And it was the first time any of us saw the Eiffel Tower lit up in that entire trip. We all immediately stopped yelling and replaced it with laughter and selfies. I think that's the perfect way to describe our class. Perhaps a bit loud and chaotic, but always comes together in awe over the beauty of the French culture and happiness we give to one another. We all know that when we enter the French room, we can let it all out and don't have to worry about the pressures of the day. You have created such a safe space where we can walk into your room at any moment and just talk. Talk about our successes, failures, worries, fears, and even if it cuts into class time, which tends to happen a lot, you value our emotions and our well-being comes first. You are one of the best listeners I know and not only allow us to share our thoughts, but challenge us to look at the larger picture and to put ourselves in each other's shoes. And no matter the subject matter of our conversations, you ensure we leave the room knowing more. That is being a true teacher. When it comes to French, I have not seen anyone more passionate about teaching us all aspects of their culture and coming up with unique and interesting ways to teach it. You are truly so talented at what you do. Yes, I have finally learned the difference between passé composé and néant parfait, but I have also learned about Impressionist art, mid-century theater, the poetry of Cyrano de Bergerac, the important distinction between Les Misérables and Les Mis, and the importance of saying bonjour to any French person you meet. You have covered history, mathematics, philosophy, English, sustainability, science, and not only in France, but in America, Canada, Africa, and I'm pretty sure at this point, like every continent. You have taught me so much that I have fallen in love with not only the French language, but also the culture. You gave me the opportunity to fulfill my dream of going to France. And as we ran from metro to metro screaming vite, I knew that the passion you awakened in me will allow me to study and live in France one day. That trip that you single-handedly planned and coordinated changed my life. It is one of my all-time favorite memories, and I'm so grateful I got to experience it with you and our French family. It's hard to believe that I won't be saying pas de pluie and a frog hand puppet in your class again, or you roasting Alan and Ryan, or seeing your excitement when something finally clicks, or when we finally remember the vocab. Thank you for the greatest memories and for teaching my favorite class. And for me specifically, Madame, thank you for believing in me. Thank you for going out of your way to look for scholarships for me when you didn't need to. Thank you for your hugs after a stressful math test. Thank you for asking me if I'd want your coffee machine for my college dorm. Thank you for everything you've done for us. We appreciate you so much, and I couldn't ask for a better teacher or role model. Tu es dans mon cœur pour toujours. Je t'aime.
Hi, Miss Lady. I just want you to know that despite all of the chaos in the world right now, we are still taking time to recognize our teachers for all of their hard work. Thank you so much for everything that you do for the Seacrest community, both as my advanced chemistry teacher and as the teacher for so many other students. You are always a wealth of knowledge for chem, and I know that there will always be someone that I can go to when I need help with something that I'm struggling with. This year, I've missed a lot of school for writing, and I really appreciate you for being so understanding and willing to give me the tools that I need to do well. You are a kind and dedicated teacher, and I look forward to next year. I'm lucky to be one of your students, and thank you so much for everything that you do.
From all of us students here at Seacrest, we want to thank you, Mr. Wickbold, for being such an amazing, enthusiastic, and caring teacher. Thank you for caring so much about us students and helping us learn and grow. You put so much time and effort into making sure that us students understand and really grasp onto new topics. And you also care about keeping us on top of our grades, which really comes in handy. You make learning fun, from dissections to labs to notes to now our Google Meet classes. You are truly appreciated. Seacrest wouldn't be the same without you. We all miss you from Seacrest. Hope to see you soon.
Dear Miss McLaughlin, thank you for being part of my junior year. I enjoyed coming to your robotics class since I never had a class about engineering. I was very curious and excited to learn something new involving technology. I love researching and making presentations about engineering disasters, viewing the timeline of automation and robotics, and exploring the different types of gears. I'm thankful for your patience and involvement in my learning. Thank you for moving me to the advanced robotics class. And even though I stayed in your class for a short time, I feel like the time I spent there was truly incredible. Thank you again, Julie.
Board. I just want to say thank you from me and from the rest of the Seacrest community for all the help and support you've provided us over the past few years. For me especially, when I came to 9th grade, you really cultivated my love for history as a subject and went above and beyond to help me grow, not just in class but out of class. You helped me get an internship and a lot more. You and Dr. and Mr. Pohl have really helped me over the past few years, and I want to say thank you. Not just from me, but from the rest of Seacrest. You really are a gem, and we are lucky to have you. Thank you, Dr. Board.
Hello, this is Hannah Bowie. Mr. Big, I hate to be sappy, but I couldn't imagine going to Seacrest without having the robotics team. Thanks for waking up early every morning during each robotics competition and making breakfast for everyone, even though I just like to eat raisin bran. There's been a lot of time you have put into the robotics team, and please know that it does not go unnoticed. I still find it crazy that you have an hour-long drive to and from school every day. The late nights working on the robot have been worth it, and I've learned so much this year alone. Thanks for everything, from the math class, story times, to help with my costume making, and especially for the encouragement to work harder. Words can't express my appreciation for your work here at Seacrest.
Hi, Mr. Hears. I would never in a million years have expected to be appreciating you in such a way, all because of the current circumstances. Something that I will never forget is how you used to just start singing my name out of nowhere in the middle of class. Although my face would turn bright red, I knew no matter what you did, in or out of the classroom, you respected me just as much as I respected you. Mr. Hears, I cannot thank you enough for helping me realize that I do not have to be so hard on myself all the time. I hope to see you soon. My family and I say hi to you and your family and hope that they are all well. Yours truly, Abigail.
Dr. Bowden, the first time I met you, I just knew right away you were going to be the sweetest teacher there could be. English wasn't exactly my strong suit, but since freshman year, when you gave me the award for Most Improved, I knew how much you would help me develop as a student. You made me begin to love writing and reading. I was so happy to find out that you were going to be the teacher for our sophomore symposium class and the teacher for our senior literature class. Without fail, you always had a crazy chicken and goat story to share, and everyone loved hearing about them. We also loved hearing baby chicks in the corner chirping, distracting our class, and taking your goats out for potty breaks. I don't think I could have experienced these memories at any other school and with any other teacher. You're always so positive and asking about other people and how they are doing. It just shows how selfless you are and how much you care about your students. I'm beyond grateful to know you and have worked with you for 3 years of my high school career. Thank you for making me a better writer and listener. Thank you for helping me find some love in poetry and analyzing art. Thank you for being an awesome role model. Thank you for pushing me to be a better person and a better student at Seacrest. Thank you for teaching me not to give up on my ideas. Thank you for pushing me to stand up for what I believe in and to stand up for what I think is best. Even when I was being ungrateful for the opportunities I was being shown, you snapped me out of my funk and told me that I'm a leader and I need to step it up. So thank you for making me a better leader. Thank you for letting us skip a couple quizzes because we told you we were stressed out. Thank you for playing Great John Moody and for not cheating. Thank you for being the mom on the senior trip and making it more enjoyable. And thank you for encouraging us on Google Meet not to give up hope about our senior year. I speak for everyone when I say this, but we all love you and we're also grateful to have you in our lives.
The first time I was a student in one of your classes, you made me cry. Now, 6 years later, I wish I could take that class again. When I was little, people would always tell me what an amazing teacher you are. But it wasn't until I actually sat in one of your classes and got to experience it that I understood what they meant. You make the stories come to life. You and I both know that my love for reading comes from you, and now after your classes, my love for analysis. People probably think it is awful to have your dad work at your school. And while there are some things that I don't like your full access to my report card, there are things that I wouldn't trade. like when you sing up and down the hallway, or when you stand in the window outside of my classes, just waiting for the teacher to notice that you're there. Thank you for all the hard work you put into your job. Thank you for teaching me new things. But most of all, thank you for being a great dad. I love you.
Mr. Bolt, I want to thank you for everything you do for us on and off the track. You constantly push us to do our best in everything we do. You take care of us as if we were your own children, and you genuinely care about our successes as students and as athletes. You have taught us many valuable lessons about leadership, teamwork, accountability, and punctuality that are not just important for track, but in our lives. Every day, I look forward to track practice, and let me tell you, it's not for the running. I look forward to hearing about your favorite Drake song, or seeing your new dance moves, hearing cute stories about Ella, or in previous years playing very competitive games of Ultimate Frisbee. I'm sad our track season was cut short this year, but I'm excited to spend my last season with an awesome team and a great coach. I'm warning you though, the only place I'll be running during this break is the fridge and pantry. But don't worry, I'll be in shape for next season. Thank you for believing in me and being the coach every athlete wished they had.
Never have I had a teacher who can roast students better than they roast him, have unbelievably neat handwriting, makes the hardest math test, tells more stories than teaches math lessons, all while being one of the best teachers I've ever had. He has taught me much more than a simple algebra equation. He has taught me so many life lessons, to never sell myself short, never give up, and to simply believe in myself and my abilities. Mr. Missoula is truly the definition of one of a kind. From his brutal honesty to his sense of humor, I could spend hours listening to his jokes that I still will never understand. Through the awkward silences and constant laughs, to the endless roast sessions and many classes spent ranting and complaining, you have made my senior year unforgettable. Thank you for teaching me that my voice matters and that I am capable of anything I set my mind to. Thank you for challenging me to think further, work harder, and dream just a little bit bigger. You have always believed in me since the day I walked into your classroom and pushed me to be the absolute best student I can be. Most importantly, thank you for always being there for me and not just caring about the academics. Mr. Missoula, you are such a special teacher in person. Thank you is just an understatement, and I will never be able to express how grateful I am to have you as a teacher and a mentor. And don't forget to have a good weekend and stay out of jail.
Mr. Rosal, I just wanted to say that I appreciate you so much and to thank you for stepping in as our band teacher this year. Thank you for reminding me of why I love music so much. Having you as a teacher these last few months has just been awesome. Thank you so much for all the work you did on the musical this year. And most importantly, I want to thank you for seeing our tiny band as an opportunity to make something great and not a problem. Thank you.
Mr. Grandy is one of the most extraordinary teachers I've ever had. He always helps his students meet their goals, whether it's building a car or just doing an art project we've always wanted to do. He's always there to help. Whenever he walks into a room or a classroom or the common room, he just always lightens it up. He always is just fun and carefree, and I don't know, and his laugh is so recognizable. You can hear it from across the room and just know that's Mr. Grandy. Another thing about him is that he trusts his students very much, and in return, we trust him back. Like, he always just lets us go on his computer and change the music, and he trusts that we won't be playing bad music, And I don't know, he's just one of the best and coolest and awesome teachers I've ever had, and I'll never forget him. And I can't wait to see what he does for the school in the future and for his students in the future.
Hi, Dr. Merwin. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. I wanted to thank you so much for all you do and everything that you've done for every single student here at Seacrest. You mean the world to every single one of us, and we all love you with all of our hearts, and can't wait to see you soon. And have fun on your adventures. I want to hear all about them. Hey, Mr. Timmerman, happy Teacher Appreciation. I know you're technically not a teacher, but we wanted to do something for you because you're extremely inspirational to most of us here. I wanted to thank you so much for all of your help and everything that you've done for the Seacrest Pond project over the past couple years, and especially this year, helping me out so much with everything with the systems, everything with the artificial habitat, and honestly showing me what I love to do and my passion. You've honestly impacted my life so much, and I thank you so much for it. So, thank you again.
Hello, Mr. Olson. Just wrote a speech as a token of appreciation for all your work throughout the year. Mr. Olson, you are by far the best teacher at Seacrest. I'm not going to lie. When I heard there was going to be a new teacher for American literature, I was a little nervous. I knew junior year was the most important year, and that literature was one of my weaker points. But after the first class I had with you, I knew you'd be a great teacher. As kids were groaning about all the work you gave out during the first quarter, I knew that work was important. And the one thing that my peers don't realize is how much effort you put into helping us learn. From the Latin daily assignments that you type up, to the reading quizzes, to the daily poetry review, you always give opportunities for students to learn. I'm sure it can't be easy. I've witnessed many of my classmates try to dodge assignments, but what they should realize is that you're doing this for them. Your ability to get the most out of students is amazing. I've witnessed many of my peers transform in your class. I know I've grown a lot. You build a personal relationship with every single student. You work to build trust with that student, and if they let you down, you always give them another chance and support them. Thank you for always working long hours to get the most out of each and every student. I'm looking forward to tackling some integration and derivatives next year with you as my Calc BC teacher. I think I'm speaking on behalf of everyone when I say I am grateful for you teaching at Seacrest. Thank you very much.
I don't think there's anybody who I would walk all the way down to the lower school to see. As you know, I have come to you many times crying or laughing about something that has just happened, and I've interrupted your class just to tell you about the thing that just happened. The thought that next year I won't be sitting next to you in the back of the gym is heartbreaking. I have to admit I'm very jealous of whoever gets that job. To whoever gets that job, you probably don't know how lucky you are. Paxton has taught me everything I know about theater, and more than just theater. Paxton will also let you complain, or gossip, or chat, or cry about whatever is going on, and she will sit there and just listen. Paxton, you're my school mom. You give me hugs that I don't know I need, and you feed me, often. But on top of all of that, you encourage me to follow my dreams and to do what I want, even when I tell you that those dreams are teaching theater. I love you so much, and I'm gonna miss you so much next year, and I just have to thank you for all the things you've taught me, on top of just graphic design. So thank you, and I love you.
I remember when I got handed flowers my 7th grade year and was told to give the thank you speech and flowers to Miss Paxton after the performance of The Little Mermaid. I gladly agreed, but asked, "Who's Mrs. Paxton again?" To that, I got the reply, "Oh, she's the one who made your Ursula costume." A shame that I didn't know the name of the woman who constantly called me over during rehearsals to get my measurements, or to try different materials for my tentacles. I knew that from then on, I would never forget your name. Mrs. Paxton, you are the person who gets involved in everything, works everywhere, but doesn't get nearly enough credit. Where to begin? Not only have you turned me into an octopus, created my Wednesday Addams torture machine, or turned me into a donkey with 2-foot-tall ears, but you have become one of my favorite people to talk to. Never afraid to alter things back into reality when I need it, or remind me that everything can be fixed with a good laugh and shouldn't be taken too seriously. Your flexibility and openness to change inspires me. You took the theater program with open arms whenever change occurred, and were always the constant face I could turn to no matter what looked different. And as someone who has always been afraid of change, that was really comforting. You didn't have to ask for such a big role in theater, but you took it, and you took it for us. Your computer lab turned into a lunchtime rant space, or a space for late-night rehearsal talks, and the location for many haunted houses. Over the years, you transformed from the amazing props and costume lady to my amazing yearbook teacher to my friend. Thank you for hearing us when we thought we would not be heard, and for always backing us up in everything. Thank you for helping me find a love for yearbook and teaching me different creative outlets I could pour my energy into. You not only teach, but you do. You are involved in every project you give to us. You put in loads of hours into the yearbook and theater. I really don't know how you have time to sleep, honestly. I can't wait to come back and visit you when I come back from college and know I will see the same infectious smile and have the same enthusiastic conversations that always made even my worst days great. You love what you do so much, and I love your student, and you love your students. And Miss Paxton, I promise, I will never forget your name. I love you so much.
My teacher appreciation speech is for Mr. Z. I think I speak for the entire cast and crew of this year's show that we are so thankful for the amount of time and hard work you put into this year's production. Though sadly we don't have the ability to perform this year, I think it is evident from our rehearsal videos and the song videos put together by Mr. Rosal that this would have been an amazing production. So thank you for being an amazing mentor and a dedicated contributor of Seacrest Theater Department. Thank you.
Dear Dr. Staples, I cannot put into words how grateful I am for you. I appreciate you so much, even if I don't always show it, especially this year. I want you to know I always appreciate everything you've done for me. Starting off my sophomore year, taking AP Environmental Science, I truly found my love for science thanks to you. This only grew once I took your marine bio class my junior year. My relationship with you is a special one that I've never had with any other teacher. I have gone on many trips with you, including Marine Lab, NOSB, all the AP Environmental field trips, Marine Bio field trips, and you coming on our class trips. During these trips, I've experienced some of the best memories of my whole life, including when we possibly could have died because you forgot your night vision glasses while driving, getting in fights with Chinese restaurants over the phone, and in person, actually, jet skiing, and honestly, seeing some of the most amazing things I've ever seen my whole life on the Marine Lab trips. Thank you for always believing in me, always pushing me, providing me with endless opportunities, supporting me when I needed it, and for teaching me how special it is to love our world. Everything you've done for me means the world to me, and I will miss you so much next year. Thank you, Dr. Staples.